We're going to be taking a look at the Central Coast housing data, give you some information that you can use as a buyer, seller, or investor here in San Luis Obispo County. I'll make this short and sweet. We'll get into pending sales, new listings, what we're seeing for inventory, and talk a little bit about what I expect here in 2024 and the rest of 2023. Talk a little bit about mortgage rates and all that good stuff. My name is Joshua Ferris. I'm a real estate broker here on the Central Coast, and I lived here my whole life here in SLO County. So happy to bring you information from a local's perspective. I've been in real estate for about 10 years now, just right when I graduated Cal Poly is when I got licensed. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Make this, like I said, short and sweet. Let's go ahead and get into some of the numbers. So I'd like to start with new listings. What are we seeing as far as inventory? A lot of people are talking about that. Yes, we do have a relatively low inventory here on the Central Coast due to a few reasons. Stay to the end of this video and I'll be talking about why that is and what might change in regards to the low inventory. But let's go ahead and pull up the info here for the new listings. So new listings, September 225. That's down from August, which is 311, July 277. But let's take a look here, kind of compare what we've seen for September for the last 3 years. So 2021, there are 339 new listings. In 2022, 260. And like I said, in 2023, 225. So typically here in September, October, November, the inventory reduces, right? So the majority of houses sold sell in springtime, but there's still quite a few houses that sell here in September, October, November, typically right before Christmas. Right, typical 30-day escrow will close right before Christmas if you list in September, October, November timeframe. So typically those are going to be times that we see a little uptick in new inventory, and we see a little bit of a downtrend in December and January. So pretty normal for this time of year to see a lower inventory level, but as you can see, we're relatively low as we compare to last couple years. Pending sales, let's pull up the chart here for this one. So pending sales, September, we saw 180. In August, in August, a couple months ago, we saw 218. In July, 221. Compare that to the last few years, 180 like we talked about, 217 pending sales for 2022, and 2021, 344. So low pending sales, relatively low inventory, fewer transactions here on the Central Coast. And that is due to a few factors. One of them is just lack of inventory here on San Luis Obispo County, and the lock-in effect that we've seen in the last year or so with the interest rates increasing so dramatically and so many people that have locked in their rates. So one of those reasons why we've seen fewer pending sales. All right, so taking a look here at closed sales. We're taking a look at September. Let's go ahead and pull up the chart. 217 closed sales. In August, 229. In July, 244. That is down for the last couple years. 217 this year, 273 last year, and 2 years ago, 369. So we've seen closed sales decrease. Just again, another indicator that we have low inventory here on the Central Coast, which is one of the main issues that we're facing, whether or not you are a buyer or you're a seller looking to find a replacement property. But we'll talk a little bit about the strategies to make sure that you get the house that you want, and so you get the keys and you move in and you live the life that you want. You're not looking out there for houses and getting outbid by other buyers if you're a buyer looking, or if you're looking to find a replacement property. So we'll talk a little bit about that in the end of this video. But let's go ahead and pull up price per square foot, another important data point for us to be taking a look at. So price per square foot for the county, 506. Last month, or month in August, 499, and in July, 502. We take a look here. We've seen a steady increase for the last 3 years. 506, back in 2022, 489. And 2 years ago in 2021, 446. So you may be surprised at that. Why is the price per square foot continuing to trend up? Well, a couple of reasons for that. In the face of interest rate increases, what that has done in a lot of cases is it's put upward pressure on mid-tier, let's say, homes that are maybe a little bit lower square footage. And then also continued to see that low inventory. It is still a seller's market, so that's driving up some of those prices. So we get such high demand. We've also got so many people that are moving from the Bay Area and from LA. They're selling their homes, baby boomers. Maybe you're one of them. You're selling your house and you are moving that equity here to the Central Coast. So that's one of the reasons we're seeing that steady increase. And I think that we're going to be seeing that in the near future and years to come. San Luis Obispo County is just such a prime area to live, such great climate, the best beaches really, and overall friendly, welcoming people. So a lot of people want to retire here. They want to live by the coast. And if you compare the prices here on the Central Coast, or San Luis Obispo County particularly, to let's say Ventura or Santa Barbara, you really see that you're getting a great deal here in San Luis Obispo County. So it's all about comparison, and we've seen a lot of people that are moving here and taking the equity. So one of those reasons why we're seeing the price per square foot continuing to go up, even in the face of higher interest rates. So let's take a look at some individual cities here. And if you're interested to find out what your particular home might be worth, price per square foot, reach out. We'd be happy to provide that information to you in whatever city you live in here on the coast, Central Coast. And let's go ahead and pull up the numbers here. So Arroyo Grande, 569, San Luis Obispo, 588, and Atascadero, 447. Paso Robles, 430. So price per square foot wise, the most affordable city to be purchasing in is Paso Robles, and not surprisingly, at least for these, San Luis Obispo reaches the top there, the price per square foot. We can take a look at some more data in future videos for some of our coastal cities as well, because we'll see in Shell Beach and Pismo Beach the price per square foot even higher. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forward-looking indicators to give us an idea of what we might be seeing here coming up shortly. So month supply is an important one for us to be taking a look at. As we trend up, we're going to see that we're going to move more into a neutral or healthy market. Like I said, we're in a seller's market right now. So we are seeing the month supply still relatively low. That's an indication of a seller's market. But we are trending up. So let's take a look at the numbers right here. And in September, we saw 2.8 month supply. And in August, it was 2.7 and 2.5 in July. So these are one of the most important indicators that we can look at to see where we might be trending towards in the future. Typical month supply here for the county is probably going to be around 3.5 to maybe 4 months. It's going to be a lot more in other metro areas, but this area is just such a high demand area, and we've got such limited inventory, so we always have those relatively low data points for month supply. But we are trending in the right direction, and we're getting a bit more supply, which is a good thing. All right, so last one we're going to be taking a look at, and I'll give you my my perspective as I'm out there helping sellers and buyers and investors here in real estate on the Central Coast, and that one is days on market. So this is a good indicator for you as a buyer, how quickly you need to act and place that offer if you do see a house reach the market. Maybe you've got the email updates from me or maybe another agent, and this is a good indicator of how quickly you need to act. And so my suggestion is act quickly. We've still got relatively low days on market, and I expect it to stay that way for a while. Also, it's a great bit of information that we use when we are advising our sellers on when to expect an offer, because if you see that the days on market, maybe 7-8 days on market, for your particular type of house, and maybe we're 17, 20, 25 days on market, no offers, good indication you've overpriced. And we don't want to stay stagnant on the market. We don't want to be 45, 100 days, 200 days on the market. Your goal is to sell that house and move on to the next chapter of your life. So pricing is very important, and that's an indicator for us on what's going on and how the market's responding to the listing that we have there. So days on market, we're seeing 12 for 2023 of September, and that's actually down from 2022 in September, which is 18, but it's up from 2021, which was 8. Now that was one of the lowest days on market that I saw in my career back in 2021 with 8 days on market. So we are trending in the right direction to more normalized days on market, which is about between 15 to 25 for average house, and a bit more for unique properties or large acreage properties. So just kind of gives us some indications of where we are trending. We'd like to see the days on market increase a little bit. That will give us a good indicator that the supply has increased. But again, I don't anticipate that supply to increase anytime soon unless there's a drastic rate cut. But I don't see that happening. But talking about that, let's go ahead and transition over to talking about mortgages. I'm a real estate broker, so I can give you my perspective on things regarding mortgages, but really recommend reaching out to a mortgage broker or banker to really get the in-depth details on what fits your individual goals. And if you've got a need for some recommendations, be happy to provide you some referrals on that front. But let's go ahead and take a look at this one here to give us a good indicator of what some of the professionals in the banking industry might be telling us, what we might be expecting for 2024. Mortgage Bankers Association, 6.8 they are thinking for quarter number 1 of 2024, and they're thinking it's going to decrease in quarter number 2 of 2024 to 6.6%. If we take a look at Fannie Mae, they are not quite as optimistic. They think that the rate is going to hover right around 7% for next year, maybe dipping down to 6.7%. And the National Association of Realtors is the most optimistic about getting those rates down. They think that in quarter number 1, we're going to see 6.1% rates and possibly a 6% rate in quarter number 2. Now, none of these professionals are expecting drastic rate cuts down into the 4s again, or even into the high 2s or 3s. So I don't anticipate that happening anytime soon, but I do think a little bit of a rate decrease will help a lot with the inventory, because a lot of people have not sold their house due to the interest rates being a bit high, and so finding a replacement property when you have an interest rate of maybe 4, and then you have an interest rate of 8 or maybe 7.5, wherever it is right now for your individual credit scores or your down payment, whatever it is. It can be a big gap to bridge there. But there are ways to get either seller credits or to get a price reduction. And typically what I recommend people do is to purchase a house. If your goal is to purchase a house when the rates are high, and then refinance when the rates reduce. A couple reasons for that. One, less competition for with buyers out there when the rates are high. So for example, if I'm representing buyers, I just put an offer in over the weekend. There were 2 other offers on the table, but in this particular case, if you were to take a look at that home last year when the rates were a lot lower, probably 7, 8, 9, 10 offers on that property. So you're going to see when the rate's lower, you're going to see more buyers that have been waiting on the sidelines enter the market, so you're going to have more competition, and that's going to drive prices up. So it's better to be purchasing homes when the rates are higher, as long as it fits within your budget and your criteria, and then just refinance when the rates decrease. Gives you more leverage, more opportunity for negotiations. So just be patient. If you're having a tough time finding the house that you want out there due to low inventory, just be patient, be aggressive in your offers, be strong in your offers, make sure you've got that pre-approval and that you know what your criteria is and what kind of criteria you can bend on. That's my advice to buyers out there. What's my advice to sellers? Well, I repeat this if you've watched my videos before. Have the right process and correctly present your property to the market, and have a great game plan if you are buying a replacement property here in the county. So I've worked with a lot of clients who have sold a house and bought a replacement property, and one of my key bits of advice is to make sure that you've got the right process and you've got the right criteria set up when it comes to that replacement property, because most likely if we price your property correctly, you're going to get a great offer, and you're going to be looking for a replacement property right away. So my recommendation is to first list your house. Use that seller contingency to find a replacement property form that we have, and then look for a replacement property. We also do, as a team, we do canvassing. We find owners who are considering selling, so we can find you an off-market property as well, so you don't even have to deal with the competition out there. And there are a few other ways, a few other strategies that we can employ to find you that replacement property. So that's my advice for sellers. Make sure you've got the right process, make sure you've got the right pricing and the right presentation for your house, and you are going to have a smooth ride for the most part out there if you are a seller, because it's still a relatively strong seller's market. If you'd like to sit down and talk with us and my team about that and what your goals are, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to help you. So that's the market update here for October, short and sweet. Again, if you'd like to find out the details for your individual house, or just talk about what your goals are, whether or not it's buying an investment property, or maybe it is downsizing, maybe you're moving from 2 stories down to 1, maybe your parents need some help and they're moving to assisted living, maybe you're moving from Paso Robles and you're moving to San Luis Obispo. Whatever your goals are, we are here to help and make that process and that move as smooth as possible. And if you're a seller, put the most money in your pocket, and if you're a buyer, to save you the most amount of money and to get you those keys to that house that you want. Feel free to reach out. Like I said, we're happy to help. And until next time, take care.